Alrighty everyone, welcome back. As we are getting closer to the debut of With Love Meghan on March 4th, we already know that the many Netflix executives, the overall board of directors there, and even CEO Greg Peters, they are now scrambling to try to protect and go into damage control at this point to really improve the appearance of the series and the appearance of Meghan Markle. It's not working one bit. They all know it, we all know it, that this is going to be by far the largest ratings disaster by Netflix, especially in 2025. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Meghan Markle right now is that she is losing so many different opportunities out there, whether it's in the film industry or for television or for just anything in general, to remain in the quote-unquote limelight or to remain in the spotlight that is diminishing over time right now at a rate that we have never seen before. She really is beginning to lose so many opportunities, and it's all driven by the drama going on over at Netflix, both internally and publicly. Now, we now have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to her financial status, her financial situation, because it's getting pretty ugly for Meghan Markle, and she's reacting in a very negative way, and we all know exactly why. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is that, yes, we know that she is very well aware that the test screenings did not go her way for With Love Meghan. We already talked about this, that all 7 test screenings for With Love Meghan so far have failed miserably. One does remain before they debut this thing on March 4th. We'll have a lot more to talk about that, so stay tuned. But what's interesting here has a lot more to do with the fact that With Love Meghan, of course, that show in particular is going to be by far one of the largest disasters by Netflix, and how Meghan Markle is frantically attempting to remain in the spotlight after the record-breaking backlash toward her show is not slowing down one bit. Now, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle's financial situation and her recent reaction toward the most recent update surrounding her backup plans that are now falling like dominoes. Now, after losing multiple acting gigs for various studios within the film industry, now multiple commercial studios are beginning to dump Meghan Markle after learning about her behavior behind the scenes over at Netflix. This all comes well after herself losing that overall contract deal with Carnival Cruise Lines and Universal Studios to do commercial work. One in particular involves a very involved contract deal that was near final that Meghan recently just lost, that was going to involve Meghan Markle landing a massive contract deal with Capital One Bank to do a series of commercials for them in 2026 for their banking. Now, this contract deal that was just days from becoming closed and a done deal is now officially cancelled and axed, and was going to provide Meghan Markle, get this, roughly $9.5 million. Another shocking contract deal that, of course, was thrown into the trash for the commercial business that also went down the drain. Just recently involved a contract deal that was in active development with Meghan Markle for Six Flags theme park, where she was going to do a series of commercials with them as well. Now, this also fell apart and was completely cancelled after they too learned about Meghan Markle's behavior at Netflix and just how unlikable she has become, not just in the UK and the US, but around the entire globe. Now, this deal was going to provide Meghan $6.5 million for a 2-year deal with Six Flags to do commercials with them, and finally, she was also going to appear in a brand new Geico insurance cameo, where she would actually have a special ad with the Geico Gecko, driving in, of course, a car with the Gecko in a car around the UK, and talking about traveling. Now, this commercial was also scrapped by Geico as they want to avoid tainting their image and their brand. Geico was going to provide Meghan Markle $1.1 million for the one commercial that was planned to be filmed by this April and would go on television by this summer, roughly around July or the beginning of August, to be exact. Now, guys, before I move on from this is all coming after she lost those commercial deals with Carnival Cruise Lines and Universal Studios. Specifically, she was supposed to have multiple cameo roles in commercials to actually promote Universal's Epic Universe, a brand new theme park, which, by the way, is launching this May in Orlando, Florida, in the United States, and that all fell apart as well. So she is losing all these opportunities. She is now in an official financial crisis where she she really can't dig herself out of this hole, because if it's all basically rooted to Netflix, it's all rooted to her, fraudulent ways over the years, and how that really just built up until we now are sitting here in 2025, where we are all witnessing all of these studios turning her down one by one. Now, of course, we know that there's this major cultural shift happening right now in the States, and this all happened on November the 5th, and ever since then, you're beginning to see a lot of these studios making better decisions for themselves after realizing that things like diversity, equity, inclusion are not working, or just poor business choices in general are not working for them, or working with the wrong people is a bad business model. They are now all beginning to wake up, slowly but surely, that maybe they should pursue a better business model, that maybe they should change their ways, ever since what they have been doing since 2016. And now you're beginning to realize that a lot of these studios want nothing to do with Meghan Markle at all, or ever again at this point, and she's only latching on to a couple of cameo roles in movies right now, and even those could very well go down. However, alright, this is also yet another example of Meghan Markle's financial crisis hitting yet another new low, as her backup plan is now diminishing at a very rapid rate. Markle is reportedly livid about how all her issues with Netflix behind the scenes got out, since many of the studios have contacts with Netflix, and internally speaking, all hell is breaking loose when it involves Meghan Markle's career to remain on either television or on film. So again, we pointed this out endlessly within the past 3 to 4 weeks, that this was her backup plan if everything else did fail, and basically everything else did fail, so she's been trying to pursue her backup plan, and even that is going down the drain. Commercials, are really not providing any roles for Meghan Markle right now. Meghan and her entire team are now scrambling as the financial crisis surrounding Meghan Markle's career is spreading from studio to studio, and shockingly, like I said before, this is all rooted to the Netflix issues. Combined, Meghan Markle lost out on well over $150 million between commercials and some cameos for movie roles that she recently lost over time. Only, of course, few other roles remain for her now in the film industry, and we'll have a lot more to talk about that if and when those also get thrown in the trash, which I'm sure that they will, especially after the debut of With Love Meghan on March 4th. Now again, we are just days away from the Netflix series dropping, and really just showing everyone about how much of an atrocity it's going to be. And that, of course, is something that the Netflix CEO, Greg Peters, is fully aware about. This is exactly why he's been trying to convince the board that maybe it's a great idea to cancel this thing outright. They didn't want to do it. They refused to do that. The only thing that they did was delay the series, and that was it, from January until March 4th. But overall, there's a lot of things going on right now between Meghan Markle, between her backup plan that is now pretty much dead in the water. It's going nowhere, and she's really just locked in a corner with no way out for her career. And that really is basically the way to sum up Meghan Markle in 2025. I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.